to everybody, this is an exciting time for us. So we hope you enjoy your morning. This plan, which we helped put together, will hopefully help all people with learning difficulties to live a better and safer life.
Hampshire Learning Disability Partnership Board is launching a new plan to ensure that people with learning disabilities in Hampshire receive the same opportunities as everyone else and the right support to live their life the way they choose, no matter how complex their needs. We worked on this plan with service users, their families, their carers, with professionals who are involved in this work. And what came out really strongly was that people with learning disabilities want to get the right support. They want to stay healthy. They want the right place to live. They need activities through the day. They need access to education, training, paid work, volunteering, relationships and families. They want to be able to make choices and develop their own relationships. They want to feel safe at home and in the community. And they want their carers and family to support them, not to take control, but to help them do what they want to do. The key to the success of this plan is all agencies coming together and signing up, making promises to ensure that people can do this, to give people confidence to live their lives the way they want to.
This plan is very important for people with learning disabilities and complex needs. It will make life change for people, and it's very good, and it's going to be good for people in the future.
At a meeting of the Partnership Board with Steve Taylor and Lucy Butler about 2 years ago, it was agreed that the old plan, called Ordinary People Leading Ordinary Lives, needed to be updated. It was also agreed it should be co-produced. This means it is written by people with learning disabilities and their families. It was agreed that the people who provide services should make promises as to what they will do so the Partnership Board could monitor what was happening. Lots of people were asked 3 questions at the local implementation groups, the Partnership Board, and special events that were held around the county, including people who had little or no communication and people who lived in hospitals. The questions were about any service that people with learning disabilities or their families can use or receive. The questions were: what was good, what was not good, and what would make it better.
And then people were asked to volunteer to become part of a writing group. And this writing group had people from health, from adult services, it had family carers, it had advocates, and Linda Burgess coordinated this group. The group worked on what everyone had said at all the meetings and put the information together into a plan in sections. We then wrote a draft plan and then asked people who provide services to make promises as to how they would make their services better. This draft plan was then shown and shared with as many groups as possible. There was a consultation to find out what people thought about the plan so far. When all that information came back, changes were made to the plan to include some extra information, some extra things that people thought were important that hadn't been in the first plan. And it's that full finished plan that we've been here launching today. The plan's a working plan, and it's for the Partnership Board to make sure that people who provide services for people with learning disabilities are providing the best possible services for people and their families.
We're from the Blue League, representing the northeast of the county, and we're really pleased that we were able to have our say during the development of this plan, to talk about what we thought was important to us in the future and to have our voices heard. Like the rest of the county, our community is made up of disabled people, families, parents and carers, advocates and other supporters, many of whom have been keen to have their say because together we all know how important it is to think about and plan for our future lives and well-being. Though we all have a very wide range of needs, we all have a very similar outlook to everyone else, which is to be safe, healthy and happy, and to be able to make choices about how we live our lives. If you all keep your promises to help us, we can really make that happen. Now complete, this excellent plan really does show what can be achieved when people work together, and all of us who have made a contribution have done so with just one single aim, which is to try and make the lives of everyone with learning disabilities better. Even though such a lot of work has been done already, our launch today is just the start of this particular journey, of course, and we hope you will use this opportunity to come and talk with us to find out what makes this plan so important, what it means to our community, to talk to others who have made promises, and to share in our belief that if we all work together, we can make it a success.
Now that the disability plan is complete, we hope that support staff will do what we want them to and not what they want to. We hope they will listen now. They will now listen to us and treat us like they would like to be treated. We hope that this plan makes it clear to support staff and everyone else involved with us that what we say goes. We hope that we will be noticed and that people will realise what we have to say is important and that they are there for our needs. With this plan in place, we will be noticed and people will take responsibility. They will respect us and remember we are all individuals. This plan means people will do what they promise to do and make sure it stays that way.
Do you mean about the monitoring?
Yes.
So, Stephen, do you mean about how we're going to check
Yes.
that people are doing what they said they were going to do?
Yeah.
How do you think is the best way to check? How can we check?
Workshops.
A workshop?
Yeah.
Yeah, and would we be able to invite everybody that's
Yes.
made a promise?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then sort of have different tables of people that have made their promises on
Yes.
there?
Yes.
Yeah? What else do you think is important?
Communicating
Communicating
and understand.
the promises being made. What about
Listening.
listening's really important as
Yes.
well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you mentioned a learning disability conference where we could all get together.
And everybody involved. And,
Do you think that would be a good idea?
Yes. Yeah.
And when we were writing your speech, you said about people being very busy. What did you mean by that? About people leading busy lives.
Quickly.
So we need to do it quickly.
Yeah.
And to make sure that people don't take a long time over doing
Yes,
it.
that's right. Yeah.
What would you say is the most important thing about monitoring all of this, about the LD promises?
Check it's going to work.
Yeah?
Yeah.
With communicating?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And getting together
Getting together and
when people can?
we can. Yeah.
Yeah? Excellent. And so do you think this will work?
Yes, it will work.
And we want it to work?
Yes. Yep.
I've known you, Steve, for a long time, and you were the co-chair of the Hampshire Partnership Board.
Yes, I was.
Yeah. So how did you feel today seeing so many people with learning disabilities taking part in Hampshire's new plan?
Well, I think, Alison, it's marvellous that I come here today and see all people having their say and I hope this will do very well, and good luck to them. And people with learning disability keep saying to be heard and to be listened, and thank you very much.
That the plan gives the opportunity to the leagues and to service user groups to be really involved in making things happen.
I'm Jess Hutchinson. I'm the Director of Learning Disability Services, but I haven't been doing that job for very long. So when I came into my new job and I saw how incredible the partnership board was and the work they'd done around the LD plan, I was really, really impressed. And I must say that the energy in the room today at the celebration event really shows how everybody has felt included and has been working in partnership throughout the last few months to produce this plan, and it really is meaningful. I think as far as adult services promises go, I will be working really hard to make sure that the promises that have been made in the plan are met, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how the LD plan will really improve outcomes for people with learning disabilities.
One of the good things is that this is a really clear message, and the message is listen to us.
We wanted to do things differently in Hampshire. And we all knew that what we wanted to do was we wanted to kind of change the power, within services within Hampshire. We wanted to give people with learning disability and family carers more of the power in overseeing services and deciding the services that were needed in Hampshire. It's not your meeting anymore. This isn't this isn't a Hampshire County Council or a CCG, meeting anymore. This is what it should be like. This is a meeting to plan and design services for people with a learning disability and family carers. It's not a meeting that you control anymore. And it was a real sort of feeling of losing power and losing, what we kind of had. And it's really great to come back today to see, we quickly saw after that just how people started to flourish and how, and how it grew as a process and how the people involved in that process really started to grow. And I think within a couple of boards, people like Andrew and Henry were giving us a really hard time. I think quite rightly giving us a really hard time. It's great to come back a year afterwards and see that kind of power and that energy and enthusiasm has turned into a proper plan, with what people with a learning disability and family carers want from their local services. And it's really good to see that the statutory agencies have genuinely signed up with real promises, to meet that and really try and make that work for people in Hampshire. So keep going. So just again, thank you for inviting me. It feels like such a pleasure and such an honour to be back, to see how things have moved on, and well done and keep going.
I think we've done really well today, and I'm hoping to continue with it. All of it, I think, the whole lot. People listening and listening to what we've been saying.
What do you think,
If I'm honest with you, the same. I'm just so thrilled to have a big part of it. I just feel privileged.